I'm coming, Virgo. I'm coming. Let me shuffle your cards, then we're going to get to it. You don't have to stick around to this for this part. You can fast forward. I'm shuffling these. Now, I'm shuffling these. Oh my gosh. Virgo, you ready to make a decision, have a conversation, express yourself, hopefully in a positive way, not a negative way. Did you have a couple of words with somebody, with something communicated that may have got on your nerves a little bit? It wasn't, not that it was a huge deal, but it may have gotten on your nerves a little bit, Virgo. You could be dealing with a Leo, a fire sign male, a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or somebody who has Leo, Sagittarius, Aries strongly in their chart. And it's funny, I was doing a reading for somebody earlier, and they had very, very, very strong Aries in their chart, but they weren't sun sign Aries. So sometimes when those energies come out, if you don't recognize anybody under that energy, if you're into astrology and tarot and you're watching this reading, you should pull their birth chart, because they might have like 3 planets in Aries, or 3 planets in Sagittarius, or 3 planets in Cancer or Scorpio. So you could be really wanting to watch some of those readings too, if you know where that person's placements are. And Virgo, you might have just broke up, gotten divorces, come out of relationships, things of that nature as well. So I got one more deck, and I'm just like kind of walking around getting some energy. So that's the only reason I'm not on camera. And when I was just calling out cards, that's because they dropped on the ground. Are we still recording? Yes, we are. So let me shuffle my last deck, and then we're gonna get started, Virgo. Oh, my phone fell. Virgo, let's go. Oh, did you? Yeah. Yeah, Virgo, you got something that you want to come, something that needs to come out, something you may need to express or confess. And this could be, again, for you Virgo suns, you Virgo moons, you Virgo risings, Virgo Venuses, and all of that good stuff. Those of you who Virgo may rule your chart, or Mercury may rule your chart. Like I said, that's one thing about tarot, astrology, and the spiritual world. A lot of times it's never straightforward, but yet at the same time it's very straightforward. as much as a riddle as that may sound like. So let me turn my background music down some. And it's funny because I usually don't run like a song through my videos. And if I do, I definitely don't play the same song in all of my videos. But this is like my favorite song right now. It's called Hearts of Love by Amlak, Redsquare. And this is my friend's brother's song. And it's really funny. I had posted it on my Instagram story, and then he took my video and posted it on his page. So go download Amlak, A-M-L-A-K, Redsquare, R-E-D-S-Q-U-A-R-E, Hearts Love, or Hearts A Love. Hearts, the letter A, and love. So check that out. Virgo, are you tripping about your money? Are you not wanting to be single anymore? Is something going on with a relationship? Oh, I just got a message. 1 second, guys. It's hilarious, the message I just read, y'all. I gotta, I might have to pause this and respond to that because that is funny. That's funny. So, yeah, wait a minute, y'all. Give me 2 seconds because I gotta respond. Hold up. Wait a minute, y'all. All right, y'all. All right, we getting back to it. They're gonna give me a few minutes. Oh, that was funny. That was in regards to a tarot reading, y'all. So I had to get back because it was really funny what they just said. So, Virgo, if it's not you being single, wanting to be in a relationship, coming out of a relationship, going through a difficult relationship that's got you feeling out of sorts, you might be dependent on somebody, or maybe somebody's finances are tied into yours, or maybe what you got going on with someone. Oh my gosh, I gotta know, y'all. It's so funny. I wish I could tell you what these messages say. So, it might be tied into your stability or something like that, and it's got you feeling out of sorts, or you're ready for a real relationship. You want a committed relationship, and you're tired of being single. So something like that could be going on. But I feel like, Virgo, something might be going on with your money and your funds. And I swear, this card, when I was shuffling, when I said you wanted to communicate something and you were ready to open up, or somebody might have gotten on your nerves a little bit, this was a card that came out. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't expect these messages. So maybe there really is some communication, or there's really something you got to say. And because you notice how I'm sitting here, I usually don't get messages through my readings. And if I do get a message, because I'm recording this on my iPhone, if I do get a message when I'm doing a reading, even if I skim it or I read it or I tell y'all I'm reading it, usually I don't even pay the messages. You know how the message comes down, you can see the preview. I usually don't pay any attention. There's usually nothing that I need to respond to right now, or that kind of tickles me right in this moment, and that's going on. So maybe there's some communication or something you need to have with somebody, even if you don't realize, or you don't want to have it, or it either has to do with how you feel, or where you want to do, or a situation or choices you have to make about your money, your stability, or your relationship, Virgo. So, yeah, that definitely may be going on. It's funny because that came out in, I'm going to just put a few cards of these in here because I've been shuffling these, but I just did a reading for somebody not too long ago. So yeah, Virgo, coming through some difficult times. I think no matter whether this card, because all of you may not be watching this for relationships, so no matter whether this card is a relationship or something that you're going through that may be a little difficult, that's got you out of sorts, or maybe you got into a new relationship and you're not used to how things are because it's not how you're used to operating, or maybe you got out of a relationship and you got to rebuild and get on your throne, get back on your throne, get your money back up. Maybe there's a loss of just independence and money, and you could have lost something too. I mean, it could have possibly been job, money in some way. Maybe that is happening, that's going on, a loss of a contract or just something, something that's got you a little irritated, right, and out of sorts right now, Virgo, and it definitely could tie into your money. And I'm shuffling these cards, right? I'm shuffling. Sometimes I can do back-to-back readings and never get the same cards, but I had this card also, and it was also in reverse in a reading I did. Again, feeling defenseless, feeling like something is getting the best of you. I think a lot of people are fighting with inner, because yeah, we can look at this card, but we got to combine it with the other cards that are going on. Like, somebody's fighting communication, fighting off communication. I feel like people not keeping it maybe all the way real. And I just think, and then this one falls out. I'm going to put this back in, y'all, because this was another card in my reading. And just let me shuffle. And I've already shuffled. So the fact that some of these are coming out is just a little crazy. So, maybe feeling defeated or being defeated. So you're really like staying to yourself, trying to get your mind together, trying to make decisions. It's like mental anguish because you don't feel like yourself and you feel out of sorts in some sort of way. And if you saw me put the table and cards and put it back in, I had several, so I just put those back in. So just feeling out of sorts and not feeling like yourself, and maybe feeling like a situation is getting the best of you, and not even feeling like you really want to fight. You know what I mean? Maybe you got a certain position or you got to a certain place, but you got to fight for it, and you might be tired of fighting. Maybe you got to do more, or you got to give more of yourself, or you had to totally change yourself or come out of yourself to continue in the situation, and it's just not making you happy anymore, and it's carrying a lot of burdens. And the thing about it is, if you carry, so you start out with the 7 of Wands and you don't want to face it, you don't want to communicate, it's a fight, it's not easy, it's difficult. But when you don't deal with things and stay on top of them, then you just take all those burdens, you just take all of that with you to the next place, to the next thing that you go into, and the next thing that you do. So Virgo, I feel like you're carrying a heavy burden right now, and you're just ready to be done with it. You ready for it to be over with, because it's been a long time coming. It's been a build up of things that you're just ready to let go. And you all may also be moving, maybe moving homes. Maybe you all are building something. You could be building a home or wanting to build a home. Something, you could be carrying something, Virgo. Something's a load. Something's heavy to carry. Something's a lot to have to take care of. So maybe you've really been laboring really hard. Maybe work has been a big deal, and maybe you could also be changing work. That could be the case too, and changing locations because of work, or one or the other, just changing locations or changing work, or both. So that could be going on, Virgo. I don't know why I've been wanting to take fallout so much lately instead of like drawing a card off the top of the deck, but I'm gonna draw a card because I'm not getting no fallout, so it must want me to pick it. All right, let's see what we got next. Yeah, not wanting. I keep getting the vibe of not wanting to fight, wanting to fall back, and not even getting to even get the victory. You have to fight, you have to battle, you have to communicate. And I just feel like none of that is going on right now. I'm feeling like truths that need to be said from the baggage and the weights of the past are not being said. And I'm getting this, I mean, not just in you guys' reading. I posted a reading for Taurus, I posted a reading for Leo, and I posted a reading for Cancer, and everybody's got all of this baggage stuff and things that they're dealing with and trying to move on. trying to move on, but not really being able to move on. And I'm getting a lot of mental things, so a lot of thoughts that could have possibly been fights and arguments or something like that. There's somebody that wants to move on. So you may have a child, you may be splitting with somebody and going to dealing with somebody else that's willing to possibly be a father figure to your child or be there, or that person could be splitting from the picture, but you're just trying to get out of whatever the emotional and the mental situation is that you're in right now, because something is bothering you, something's on your mind and something's in your heart, both of those. So it's like you may feel one way about something, but then you may think one way about another way about it. And maybe you're trying to decide how to match what you think with what you feel with what you're going to do. You know what I mean? And we can keep these readings kind of under 10 minutes. And I know I took about 3 to 5 minutes to deal. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of more cards. And then I'm going to pull 1 or 2 from the other deck. And we're going to wrap it up. Because, Virgo, you had to come back in August to see what else I got for you. I'm going to put this up for August. You all know time. Things happen when they happen. This could have already happened. You could be going through it, or maybe this is something that's going to happen. So come back, because I might do another reading. The reading that I do for September, it'll probably be mid to end August, so you can watch it then. So what's the last one we want? Negative communication. Negative communication. Not communicating. You may be going through some kind of dealing with some kind of authority figure, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that may be you've had some negative communications with, you had a break with something with a male in your life, even if it isn't this sign with a male. If you're female, maybe it's a, if you're a male, maybe it's a female, but something with someone in your life where you feel like you did not get a good answer, a good counsel. Somebody may be playing slick slide games with you. Somebody may not be being honest. Because the King of Swords did not come out upright. Even if you feel like he's ice cold, he's going to act according to him. He knows what he's thinking. He knows, he uses his logic. But in this situation, this person just is not. And they might not be mentally where you are. And that may be what the issue really is, because out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards that I drew, 4 of those cards are swords cards. So this is very mental. This is very communication. There's either a lot of communication going on that's kind of negative, or there's no communication really going on at all, or what's being said isn't really the things that need to come out, get out, and it needs to be talked about. And this says calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So maybe you're dealing with some kind of soulmate relationship. Maybe you're dealing with somebody that you've known from the past, or even a past life, but a connection that you feel like you really have a connection with somebody. But as you know, there's this whole argument that goes on between what's a soulmate, what's a twin flame, which one is the difficult relationship, which one is the easy relationship. And I tend to believe, I can't even put a name of soulmate or twin flame on it. I believe an ascended, higher spiritual relationship are the ones where you don't quite have as many problems, is because you've gotten to a place in life, if you were blessed to be born there and get there early in your 20s, or even possibly younger, that's great. But I think the majority of people in the world don't get there into their 30s and 40s, and some even later than that, where you really have relationships that are on a higher echelon, that are based out of respect, trust, and all of that for yourself. And then you go into those relationships where both people feel that way, so you don't bring that baggage and that issue, because you've learned and you've gain that respect, love, and trust for yourself, because you can't have those things with anybody else until you have it with yourself. So you may be going through a difficult relationship, or maybe you are going to meet somebody who is your soulmate, and you're meant to be together. And I just talked about loving yourself first, and you have to have those things with yourself first. And something's funny about when I do these readings on camera. If you go and watch my readings for the other signs, if you're a cross watcher, maybe watching for your moon or your rising or your Venus or something like that, or you're watching for your partner or your kids, your family, whatever your work, whatever somebody you know at work, whatever you're watching for. It's funny, in all my videos, I say something and the cards come out that like say the exact same thing. and it always happens on camera. And it says love yourself first. So that's what I was talking about. In order to get where you want to go, where you really want to be with that person, Virgo, it looks like you have somebody coming in, or maybe you had a relationship, somebody you met that you thought was your soulmate. Maybe you guys decided to get into a relationship, make a commitment, get married or something like that, and it's like you're standing still. You might not be getting what you expected, and if you're not, and if things aren't working right, it's because you got to love yourself first. And or this could be also be saying for the other set of Virgos out there, that you're going to have a deep connection with someone that's a new relationship. So I get the feeling that it's new. Now I don't have the commit. I think there's a relationship. There's a card in here that says something about commitments. There's one that says something about marriage. So I don't have a marriage card, but I see things here that could be bringing in a deep connection. I don't have enough cards. Well, actually, the way that connection is going to turn out for you, because I think the point of what I'm saying is, when people argue about, well, is soulmate a good thing, is soulmate a bad thing, usually soulmate relationships are difficult. What's going to make the decision of if this relationship that you have coming in, or this bond, or this soulmate relationship that you've been waiting for to come in, what's going to make the difference with this, whether that's going to be negative and positive, is if you love yourself first. It's going to be how you respect yourself, how you love yourself. That's how that person is going to treat you, and you won't accept or you won't allow any less than that. And that is what's going to be the determining factor with how your connections turn out, whether it's the connection you're coming from, the connection you're in, or the connection you're going to. It applies no matter which way you look at it. So let me just get a couple advice cards, and then we're going to bring it to a close, Virgo. I think we touched on a lot. These are too many cards. I got about 4 or 5 cards that fell out. And then, one second. Let's just see what's going on with these cards, Virgo. I feel like it's so many of these cards. And I feel like a lot of times I get repeating cards. Like, I wonder, have I ever drew every card in this deck? It's so big to shuffle, so I don't use it all the time. You see that. I got a card I'm going to take because there's one right there, but I'm going to put these back in because a lot of cards came out. But let's see this one. The Sun. This is so funny, guys. You see me shuffling these cards. This came out in my previous reading. So the Sun. There's something about a Sun. Maybe there's a child that's a Sun that is where all this mental anguish and difficulty is coming from. Maybe you have to move away, you have to go somewhere with your child. Maybe you're having difficulty with the father of a child, or something's going on like that. Maybe you all want kids, but the Sun card, I think that's definitely going to bring in, and that's in the month of August, and that's the Leo. So you all could be dealing with the sign of Leo as well. But it just talks about things working out good, and getting rewards and having gratitude for your blessings. So it talks about being blessed, Virgo. So no matter what the situation is and what's going on, what's going to come to you is going to be a blessing. And you have a lot of blessings in your life to think positively about. And maybe that's what this is, because I told you there were a lot of mental cards on the table. And sometimes your thoughts can be the problem. With everything is perception. It's the way you think about something. It's the way you think about something. Because sometimes things aren't, we make them worse by how we let them invade our mind space and invade our frequency and our vibe in a negative way. And then we make things worse. And then you got this Six of Spring. This is another card that talks about victory. So there's going to be some kind of victory, some kind of blessing, some kind of gift, Virgo. And the Six of Spring talks about wonderful news is on its way. Smart choices that bring rewards, success and public recognition. So maybe if you're thinking on the job front too, I think you're going to have good luck on a career front. And if you were a Virgo who was struggling, maybe a Virgo male on here and you're wondering about work, maybe you got into it with a boss, maybe you made a decision between 2 positions or 2 jobs and you chose one, but it was a lot more than you expected, and things weren't quite what you expected, and you feel like you took a loss, so you had to leave, and you know, because you're not getting along with maybe another male coworker or figure, that has that Libra, Gemini, Aquarius issue energy, just know that everything's going to pick up. Even if you're a woman and you kind of tweak that situation to fit you and how it applies to you, that could be for a woman in your career field as well. So I'm going to pull one more of these cards. I wanted to take the flip out, but I'm having so many flip outs. My thing, Virgo, is just express what is ever going on. Is this something you got to get out, be truthful, be honest about, or tell what you're going through? I see good things coming for you. I see a blessing. I see you moving towards a better situation in a circumstance, and it's something that's been a long time coming. It's not something that happened immediately, but I think you got more work to do on yourself first, and then that's when you're going to feel this good thing. And I hate to end the reading off with this card, which is the Eight of Winter, which is the Eight of Swords, which talked about, again, mentally trapped. So that makes 5 swords cards on the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is the 5th, the Eight of Swords. It's talking about being trapped, but it's very mental. You so in your mind that you can't get out of it and take action and move forward more lightheartedly and with not so many of your burdens on your back, because you're really going through something that's got you fucked up in the head right now. And the Eight of Swords says you have what it takes if only you believe in yourself, which is loving yourself. And it says thinking that you're powerless when you're not, a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. You got to have, and that's when I was talking about expression. Say how you feel. If you got to get something out, get it out, Virgo. This says a lack of confidence that keeps you from what you want. So it's going to take you to express yourself, say what you mean, and love yourself first, and put yourself in a better position. Nobody's going to do it but you. And if you take those steps and you do those things, you're absolutely going to be victorious with the Six of Wands and the Sun card. That's all about victories, blessings, having success, being the victor. So Virgo, you got a win coming, and you just got to start with you. And it's all about your perception of what you're dealing with, what you're going through, your perception of yourself. That's how other people are going to see you, no matter how much you may try to hide it. So Virgo, I wish you the best. If you'd like to contact me, email me at tarothelpnow@gmail.com. And we could do a private reading, or we can chat more. Put your comment down below. Let me know what's going on with you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful August. Frequency Bro Radio, Madam X, and I'm out.